What is going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Hopefully you guys get this message today. This is a pretty cool topic. It's very visual. So pause this as we go and think about what it is that we're talking about. But here's what I want you to put in your head is that your life, everything that makes up you, lives on this thing called a table. Like everything that you put on your table at home, like that's all the stuff that you're supposed to carry. Bigger table carries more, smaller table carries less. Cool. That's the surface, but what's underneath is what supports it. And those are the legs. So in our program, we like to define those legs as faith, family, fitness, and finance. So think about those. If you had a table that had 4 legs, let's start off by saying we all know if they're not even, the table will be out of balance, won't be able to hold things, things will fall off the table, etc. If they're all even, that's great. It's balanced. And if I made them stronger, the table could support more, right? So that's where we're going to start. That's the picture I want you to have. So knowing that, like every man's life is supported by those 4 legs, faith, family, fitness, and finance. And if all of your legs are strong, and even the table carries your real weight, it carries your purpose, your people, your calling, like it represents you and what you can essentially put on your shoulders. Like I do jujitsu, and I'm a father, and I'm a husband, and I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm a businessman, I'm a doctor. Like all those things live on the table, but you better have a big table if you want to have a lot of things. If you want to have a big table, you better have strong legs. If you want to have strong legs, it means you need to put time and focus into balancing, right? Like you wouldn't just go to the gym and do like chest and left arm biceps and think that you'd have a balanced physique. You know what I mean? You'd end up looking like Corby. You'd be all upper body and no lower body, terrible calves. But don't ever look at his calves. It makes him self-confidence. It's his own personal thing. So back to the story. If one of the legs on your table is weak, then everything starts to shift. And it won't tip right away, but slowly. So think about it. You go to a restaurant and you sit down at the table and you reach for your water and it's jittering around. You know the table's unstable. What do? You grab napkins, you wad them up, and you go fix it, right? And we do that too much in life when things wobble. Instead of just taking the time to say, hey, let me get a new leg. Let me file some things down. Let me do it better, etc. So the point of this is not to have a perfect table. It's to have a stable table. One that can handle pressure, because you need to inspect and reinforce that table daily, because the pressure is what matters in life. Like, what are you putting on your table? What are you putting on your mantle? Like, that table is a manifestation or representation of how the world sees you and who you are, right? It's like, lay it out on the table. It's you. So let's go to the core concept of build. Don't balance. So like, I want you to build, like I talked about, like, don't just shove napkins underneath it. That's balancing things. Like men get sold this idea that balance means equal or means equal time in every area. And that's not reality, right? There's seasons where one leg carries more weight, but the goal isn't equality, it's stability. Case in point, if you are a marathon runner, that's your background, you're Josh. You don't need to do any more marathon running. Your cardio's through the roof. You can run from here to Egypt. But if you want to be a balanced athlete, you need to be in the weight room. So how much time should somebody like Josh go put back into marathon running to become a balanced athlete? We would all say that he could stop running for a year and still the other areas of his fitness, like strength, etc., wouldn't have time to catch up to that because it's so disproportionately strong. And a strong man builds stability through awareness and discipline of recognizing where the work needs to be done. And the problem is where you most likely need work is the areas that you most likely don't want to work. And that's most likely why it's weak. Think about this. The things that are strong in your life right now are strong because you like them. You put time into them. The things that are weak suck because you ignore them. You ignore the cracks. You ignore them. But as before, like the table crashes, maybe you grab onto it, but you don't find stability by just slowing down the things you do in life. I'll do less of it. You find it by building it in the other areas that you're weak at, right? So let's talk about the 4 legs of the table, specifically to how I look at how this group looks at it. Let's start with faith. We always start with faith. This is your foundation leg, I like to call it. And faith is your alignment with your truth. For me, it's Jesus Christ, it's Christianity. But it doesn't have to be for you. This is my compass. It's when my life starts to spin, it's my North Star, right? So that's what faith is to me, is when things are out of control and there's things that I can't control, where do I look for some semblance of stability and control? I look to faith. And in my faith, I speak the language of Christianity, like not on the fence. Jesus Christ, my Savior. That's my thing. Doesn't have to be yours, but you need to have a faith. You need to have your North Star, right? Because this leg keeps you grounded in purpose. And without it, the table loses direction and strength. So ask yourself this: am I acting from conviction or convenience on my beliefs when it comes to that? If you don't know the answer to it, that's where you start. Okay, let's go to family. Okay, we'll call this the relational leg. Family is the leg that represents love, leadership, and presence. And if one weakens, the entire table will tilt, right? So your home is the first team that you've ever truly led, your wife and your kids, etc. And it's the last one that you'll remember how you played, and it's the last one that people remember how you played it. It's your legacy. Like, business is great, but that's just dollars, right? What you do with the family is what matters. So ask yourself this: if you're doing an audit, do the people closest to me feel led, loved, and prioritized, or are they just managed? Okay, ask yourself, like when you look at your 4 legs, you looked at faith, where does that land? Rank them. Where does family land? Rank it. Let's go to the physical leg. Physical leg is an easy leg for most of the people on this call and that would follow this product to be very, very good at. Why? Because I get a direct result from it. If I put X amount of time into the gym, I can directly see an X amount of result. I'm an objective person. I like to accomplish things. There's certain vanity in this world that I want to live with. Fitness gives me the ability to basically do whatever I want. Like, I want to be a Ferrari and a 4x4. So I go to the gym and I train as such. Fitness is my energy source. It fuels all my other legs. And what's great about fitness is, like, a stronger body sharpens the mind and anchors the spirit, and a weak body seals confidence and capacity. So I personally would say, where am I the strongest in my 4 legs? Fitness. Now, I don't want to give up my fitness routine to give time to the other areas that need it. Okay, so I basically just went against everything I've said. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to maintain the amount of time I put into fitness, because I don't want to give it up, but I'm going to find time to equal or put more time into the other legs of which I'm weak. So we don't always have to just get rid of something. We just have to make sure that we make up for it. Okay. So I want you to ask yourself this in fitness: like, am I training to sustain my mission, or hoping my body doesn't quit before I do? So if you are a father, ask yourself this: like, what do you look like when your kids have kids and your kids want to play with you? And if the answer is that I'll be running, throwing baseballs and going skiing with them, snowboarding, wake surfing, well, ask yourself first, like, do you want to be the guy that does that? If you do, and you don't see that you're on the trajectory to be there, fix it. If not, don't be pissed off for the life you don't have from the work you didn't do. Okay. Last one we'll talk about is the stewardship leg, and this is finance. Finance is fuel that helps the world go around. It's often treated like the whole table because I get to buy a big table and put cars and Rolexes and vacations and houses on it and show off. But it's just a leg. It's just a piece. It's the measure of stewardship, not your worth when it comes to money. When the leg is healthy, it supports my ability to give and to build and to protect. Like, it gives me money to feed my family. It gives me money to buy clothing to keep a shelter. It gives me money to put time into experience. It gives me money to share with poor people that need it in my faith. So ask yourself this: am I mastering my money, or is my money mastering me? Like, who works for who? Are you working for your money because you want it, or are you chasing your money because you need it, or where are you in that? And like, ask yourself, fast forward. If nothing changes, where are you in 3 years from today? Following the path that you're following right now. Okay. So let's run down a really quick audit. Okay. A leader checks his table regularly, and he walks around it and he notices where it's even or if it's cracked, and he doesn't wait until like plates slide off to start making repairs. So this week, here's what I want you to do. Which leg is solid? Which one wobbles? What pressures are you putting on the weak leg that it can't handle right now? Strength isn't built by ignoring imbalance, guys. It's built by daily correction. So show up at the call. A couple things I'd like you to do, self-plug, is download the book, send it out to people, get more people. Why? Because my goal is to impact people. I'm not shy about that. So I'm constantly going to say, hey, if you haven't sent this out to 20 of your friends, I'm going to ask you to send it out to 20 of your friends, because I think that of the 20 of your friends, 10 are going to open it, 5 are going to read it, and 1 is going to say, this resonates with me. And whether they join our group or that one piece makes them a better human being, like, That's the kind of stuff that I want to do in this world. Be the change you want to be in this world. All right, boys. I love you. Peace out. Talk to you soon.